Trigonometric substitution. The goal is to evaluate integrals where integrand involves the square root of x squared plus a squared, the square root of a squared minus x squared, the square root of x squared minus a squared. Consider the right triangle whose sides are a and x. The hypotenuse is the square root of x squared plus a squared. Tangent of theta is x over a, so x is a times tangent of theta. X squared plus a squared is therefore a tangent theta squared plus a squared, and this can be simplified to a squared times the quantity tangent squared theta plus 1, but tangent squared theta plus 1 is secant squared theta. So the square root of x squared plus a squared is a times the absolute value of secant of theta. We see that if x is a tangent of theta, then the square root of x squared plus a squared can be substituted with a, the absolute value of secant theta. Consider another right triangle whose size is x and the hypotenuse is a. The missing side is the square root of a squared minus x squared. Sine of theta is x over a, and so x is a times sine theta. The square root of a squared minus x squared is now the square root of a squared minus a sine theta squared. And this can be simplified to a times the absolute value of cosine of theta. Consider another right triangle whose hypotenuse is x. One side is a, so the missing side is the square root of x squared minus a squared. Secant of theta is x over a in this case, so x is a times secant theta. The square root of x squared minus a squared is the square root of a secant theta squared minus a squared, which can be simplified to a times the absolute value of tangent of theta. And so with x equals a tangent of theta, the square root of x squared plus a squared is a times the absolute value of secant of theta. With x equals a sine theta, the square root of a squared minus x squared can be substituted with a times the absolute value of cosine of theta. And with x equals a secant theta, the square root of x squared minus a squared is a times the absolute value of tangent of theta. These are called the trigonometric substitutions.